We're faced with a situation, I would say, where the building schedule is more of a challenge than the climate itself. We don't get very many maintenance days. In some of my previous roles, I would have maintenance 2 or 3 or 4 times a month. In this building, we might go 8 to 10 games before we see a maintenance day. Kyle Lamkey, Director of Ice Operations for the Los Angeles Kings. Part of my role here is to make sure that the playing surface is where the players would like it to be. We have a pretty small window of temperature that we aim for, and really what we do is just make sure that we've chilled the concrete to be able to achieve those temperatures throughout the game. And pre-game, we're adding heat with the Zambonis to make sure we don't get too cold. We've set the expectations on each one of our teams. So the engineering team is responsible for the concrete temperature underneath the ice, and they will start and stop equipment based on the surface temperature that we're trying to achieve. On game day, we start our communication thread sort of at 6 a.m. They'll send us a copy of this report here, which is our ice thickness report, and that sort of sets the tone for the day. We carry upwards of 1 3/4 to 2 inches of ice. The top 1/4 inch of ice is what we really focus on because that's where all the action in game happens. On game days, we focus on 2 things, timing and temperature. So pre-game, about 4 hours before the game, we'll start all the refrigeration systems. We'll pre-chill the concrete floor under the ice to hold us at the temperature we want to get to through the game. And then we'll just use the Zambonis to add heat to sort of maintain the surface temperature so that the ice surface doesn't get too cold. If we start trending towards an environment that's too cold, the Zam drivers know that they need to go out there and add heat, so they'll take a machine out, they'll put a load of hot water on there to make sure that we're managing that temperature correctly. The Zams will be out there for approximately 4.5 to 5 minutes. They're both full with water that's 160 degrees, and really our goal out there is to cut out the ruts and anything we can't cut out to fill it with water. The overall apparatus here is the conditioner. This is where the blade is housed. So the blade sits behind an auger. There's 2 auger systems. There's a horizontal auger and then there's a vertical auger. So there's a blade under each of the conditioners. The machine will cut. The drivers will control how much ice we're cutting. The blade shaves the ice. The auger collects the ice that's been shaved and puts it into the snow bin that you can see in the raised position right now. The goal is to replace the ice that we cut with the exact same amount of water out the back. We treat the water here, and treating the water controls the amount of snow that's on the surface. 2 jets of water will create a slush. There's a squeegee on the underside of the conditioner that will push the slush into the ruts. And then the fast ice here sprays a fine layer of mist out the back to coat the top surface of the ice. And we utilize the rest of the time before puck drop to allow the surface to set up and get back down to temperature for the players. On the nights that we are running a little bit warm, we can make adjustments with the resurfacers. We can put out less water. We can change the temperature of the water. We shift from an engineering focus to an on-ice focus. They skate a standard pattern that ensures we have equal coverage over the entire surface. They'll come back and give us feedback about the surface, whether they found the snow heavy and wet or light and fluffy. And as we do that, that just increases playability for the players. So the puck will have a faster glide, there's less likelihood that it will skip or bounce. And those are really things that contribute to the player's ability to control the puck in game. I think we probably have potentially the biggest impact on player safety. We've got NHL thresholds and targets that we need to meet. Those are constantly monitored through daily reporting at the NHL league office. But really, it's about making sure that our team has what they need to perform, but also making sure that they can do that in a safe environment and an environment that's consistent across the league. You always want to make sure that whatever you're providing here is comparable or better to what they're going to be playing on somewhere else.